Konnichiwa. Oh, God. All right, so I'm walking again, and I blanked for a second, but now I remember. I tend to dwell on the past. I tend to look back at the past, honestly, for greater wisdom to help me in the present and thus the future. I know I will make mistakes, but to not make the same ones, or to at least recognize why I make the same ones, will bring me to a superior point eventually. And that's determinism. That's not just like your free will is in your own hands. Because God knows that that can be faulty. God knows that that can lead to insecurity sometimes. We all need something to fall back on. But going back in my life, I just recognize that I'll do this. I recognize that in life, you are the vessel through which life is experienced. And if you feel that your life is over, it doesn't mean that you are over. What it means is that you need to build a new one. You need to start again. You need to recognize that this is a new chapter. Because yes, the old ways are gone, but the body is still here. This isn't ravaged. If it's ravaged, that's another thing. But even then, there's probably a lot left of the body. But that regardless, I'm still here. And that is the hope that springs eternal as far as my own life is concerned. My own existence. My own time here. I've faced my share of broken backs, let's say, in the past few years. And to an extent, they are kind of somewhat self-inflicted, yes. Somewhat yes, somewhat no. I mean, I guess, yes, they came from me. But that doesn't mean that I must pay penance for it on end until my days are done. Because a lot of it had to do with me being in consistently dysregulated states. As DBT would put it, dysregulation. Dysregulation being a place, or emotional state where you are more in the mode of reactivity than responsiveness. To react in DBT is to respond on impulse. To respond is to react with finesse, with pace. You want to respond more than you react. Now, reactivity is inevitable because we have built-in functions. But to hone on responsiveness, you'll see my definitions say that responsiveness and reactivity is implied that they are of the same coin, of the same kernel. If you build that responsiveness, your will expands. Your will becomes greater. Your consciousness becomes greater. Now, where am I going with this? Right. With these broken backs, let's say the incident in high school where I fended off this kid from physically messing with me, so to speak. And later forgiving him that night, to be honest. And I felt like I was more in the wrong. that night changed my high school time, as did the somewhat misguided, somewhat properly guided coming out on Facebook a couple months prior, back in 2013. That kind of messed up my high school time, not because they didn't like me anymore, but because I couldn't properly represent myself after that. We all knew this, at least I do. I guess I can open up to you about it, but it's hard for me to, unenvelop that stuff, I guess. Kind of takes time to go through all the strokes of it. But yeah, so I, had a rough high school time, and I had a rough college time where I, went in with the wrong major, and I was out of said major, and then I had no major, and then I was looking for a major, and I knew what I wanted to do with my life, which was in the arts, namely in music, and music was all I could think of, in part because my hormone levels weren't working properly. And I went into an audition for the Music Bachelor of Arts, and didn't get in because my professor thought that this wasn't a good life choice for me, and that's basically what he said. He basically wanted me to, find something less pigeonholing for myself, because he knew that I was a greater soul than that, so he did that to me. And I still think he's a great person. I still love him, but and so after that I was still stuck with no major, and really I spent most of my time at TCNJ without a major, actually. I spent 2 semesters in mechanical engineering. I spent a semester seeking a music Bachelor of Arts, a summer and a semester actually doing that, and then I spent a semester with nothing, and then I spent half a semester seeking a math degree, and that was pretty two-dimensional when I was doing that. And then ultimately I was kicked out, or taken out, because I had apparently been behaving in erratic ways that even I didn't notice I'd been doing. And this is where we get into the broken backs again, because multiple broken backs I cited there at TCNJ, and then the ones at high school, and then the ones at the body, and I started adulthood after leaving TCNJ, and TCNJ I consider basically the best college short of Princeton in the state. And then I leave social media abruptly in January of this year, and suddenly I have little to do with most of the people who I met at TCNJ, almost all of whom have graduated by now, and some who are continuing their paths there, and don't want any distractions. So yeah, I'm in an odd boat, because I'm a witch. There are so many things that just estrange me from the general population. And the thing is, I've made some good triumphs in the past couple of years too. The Brandy Carlisle video, my first shows, the hundreds of songs I've written, the few times that I've rehearsed with people to collaboratively bring my songs to life, finding a second producer as well. Thank you, Josh, and thank you, Brian. And doing loads of things that bring me to life. The transition also is, a success on my part. I have done so much work because of that thing. And, and I don't even realize it. And, you know, being a friend to my parents and my nanny when they were sick last year, and meanwhile also building myself professionally as a musician and as a singer and as an actor and as a model. All of these things, you know, finding loads of connections. This is why I get mad at myself for deleting my social accounts, yes, because it was work to build them into what they were. And I treated them artistically too, namely the Instagram. But they're gone. The new ones are placeholder accounts. I mean, I suppose I'm working with integrity as far as them, namely the Instagram, but hey. Yeah, that's me moving on, I guess. I mean, I already have like 112 posts on that thing, and I have 232 followers, maybe more on there. So, you know, not all is lost. I'm meeting with my producer on the 11th, which is going to be golden, right? It's going to be golden. And I made a new friend through Instagram. Her name is Lori, not Sorry Love Lori. She's got a YouTube channel that is worth checking out on YouTube. And she's worth a follow on Instagram too. And we relate on a lot of things. Kind of considered that I have BPD, to be quite honest. And if you're an employer, you'd have to watch 11 minutes of this in order to figure that out. Or you'd have to just skip to the end. But yeah, Lori's very open about her BPD diagnosis, and I think I could be diagnosed with that because I have a lot of tendencies of self-doubt and then moments of self-grandiosity and, you know, seeing idols in the people I become friends with, and then seeing demons in the people I become even slightly closely associated with, and you know, loads of things. The, you know, over-sexedness, under-sexedness thing. You know, first I'm a sex goddess and then I'm a prude. You know, I'm a prude if you come close, but a sex god if no one's around me. You know, like stuff like that. Just loads of things. You know, black and white thinking, lots of things. That's why DBT was so good for me. It's really good for me. And that's why creating is really good for me. Writing, all that stuff. You know, that's always going to be in me. That's always going to be me. You know, it wasn't me before I was 14 because I hadn't found it yet. But once I found it, it was like, I was unstoppable as far as that. I thought I wouldn't write this month, and I ended up writing this morning, improvisationally, the last video. So, currently, I'm just happy to you. I'm happy. Am I just saying stuff? No, I think I'm fairly happy. I'm just a bit wary of things. I have to continue studying for my adolescent psychology exam, my first exam of the semester. I have to rehearse for acting 3, and I have to write my reflection for group psychology, and I have to, what's the other class I take? Oh yeah, voice. The voice is a breeze. That's a breeze. And she's really helpful. Oh my god, she's really helpful. Cynthia Baum, she's great. Yeah, I go to Brookdale now. And I'm kind of happy about that. I wanted to go to Brookdale early on. I felt I wasn't ready for the TCNJ bite, to be quite honest. So I'm glad I'm going to Brookdale now. And Brookdale is actually a really great community college. I can imagine it's one of the better ones in the country too, not just in the state. So I think I'll close it up here. There's plenty of hope for me. I'm in Haunted Theatre too. Come visit me at Haunted Theatre at Brookdale. Okay. tried to close at 15 minutes, but that haunted theater thing is award-winning, and it's going to be such a fun several nights, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's a really cool project that I'm a part of, and we're gonna spook ya. Okay, bye.